Bro, this is how I quit porn, video games, junk food, social media, and every bad habit that I used to have using science, right? Now I know, bro, you're probably going through depression, anxiety, you hate your life, you feel like your life sucks. Every day you wake up, you're just stressed and you're like, why does this happen to me? Like, why does my life suck? But I'm telling you, bro, I was in the exact same position as you. I used to hate my life, I used to be depressed, I used to have suicidal thoughts. And it's all because of these bad habits, because these bad habits, they destroy our dopamine receptors. And dopamine is the neurotransmitter basically that makes us enjoy life, that makes us feel good. It destroys that, which makes us feel the exact opposite. It makes us hate our life, right? But really, the way I overcame all of these bad habits and addictions was through the scientific method. And this is what I'm gonna explain to you in this video. And I know this is not like a shiny video, like 99% of people don't ever learn about this ever, right? But I promise you, this is how I overcame every addiction I had, and this is basically how I achieved everything, honest. And the scientific method is how we as human beings basically became the dominant species on this entire planet, and how we discovered everything. Like, this is how Newton discovered gravity, this is how Einstein discovered relativity, right? This is how we discovered everything in the universe, right? Is through the scientific method. And I promise you, I'll explain this in a very simple way that you can understand, and this will totally change your life, bro. And I promise you, when you do this, it will literally become impossible. If you keep doing and if you keep applying the scientific method, it will become impossible for you to relapse on these bad habits and for you to keep these bad habits. And I know, because this is what I did, okay? So the scientific method, right? There are many models to explain it, but really I found that the simplest model, I learned this from Charlie Morgan, by the way. He's like he's worth like $40 million, decamillionaire. Like, he's read like over 600 books, right? He's just a brilliant guy, right? But I learned this from him, by the way. Basically, it's just 4 steps, bro. For the first step, the scientific method is formulate hypothesis. And basically, a hypothesis in science is basically just a guess. That's all it is. It's just a guess about something that we observe in reality, in the world, in the universe, right? It's just a guess. So basically, a hypothesis could be like anything. Like, if I drink water, I'm not gonna be thirsty, right? That's a hypothesis. And that's how we discovered that drinking water doesn't make us thirsty, right? Any guess in the world is a hypothesis. Like, let's take a practical example. Like, if I, for example, change my environment, I will no longer play video games, right? That's a hypothesis, regardless if it's true or not. But it's a hypothesis. It's a guess, right? You know, like an example in the gym is, if I increase a rep on barbell curls, I will get bigger biceps, right? And so on and so forth. Like, it's just a guess that we have. Like Newton, for example, his guess was, if this apple fell on my head, then there's a force that pulled it down, which is gravity, and he turned out to be correct, right? So everything we discover starts with a hypothesis, a guess. And a guess is just, if this, then that, right? It's just, if this is true, then that, right? That's how a hypothesis works, right? And this is basically like the only word you need to understand, bro. It's just hypothesis. It's just a guess, right? The second step is test hypothesis. So we test the hypothesis, right, to see if it's true or not. So, for example, in the gym, like, I'm gonna give you a practical example, okay? Like, this is how I quit video games, for example. All I did, right, was I got into self-improvement. I started going to the gym. That was the first step. But my hypothesis was, if I put my PlayStation, right, because I was just addicted to my PlayStation, if I put it in another room, then I will stop playing video games, right? If I change the environment, then I won't be playing video games. So I put the PlayStation in another room, right? I put it in like my brother's room, right? And he was totally cool with it, and then we sold it in the future, right? Because none of us just didn't even want to play on it. But anyways, I just sat in my room, and I didn't go to his room. And I found out that it actually worked. Like, self-improvement became my video game. Like my life became the video game. And because my like the PlayStation wasn't in front of my eyes all the time, it wasn't obvious, right? That's what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. Like, if something is obvious, if it's in front of you, then you are more likely to do it, right? So when it wasn't obvious, that trigger wasn't there to play video games. And that's the third step, which is observe results. And the results were, it worked. I actually didn't even want to play video games. I stopped playing video games because the PlayStation wasn't in my room. And then the fourth step of the scientific method is formulate new hypotheses. So we formulate a new guess. And this is how I quit every single bad habit. So I'm gonna give you just a lot of examples to kind of get this in your head, bro. But I promise you, if you can understand this, like, not only will you quit every single bad habit that you have, with anything, right? Whether it's video games, porn, junk food, social media, any bad habit, you will succeed at anything, because this is like really everything you want. It's just science. It all comes down to the laws of physics, right? Like, everything is possible if it's within the laws of physics. That's all it comes down to. It's just science, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example in my personal life. When I started bodybuilding, right, or when I started like going to the gym and building muscle and getting stronger, right, I was absolutely clueless. Like, I remember I used to go into the gym, bro, and like the bar used to follow me, and people used to look at me weird, and you know, my form was just, it wasn't the best, and you know, I just didn't know what I was doing at all, right? So what I did was, and I did this unconsciously, I wasn't even conscious that I was doing it. I wasn't aware that I was doing the scientific method. But what I did is I just went onto YouTube, right? And I just tried every single training method that there is, right? Because like, I didn't really try it in the gym. I basically just trained in my room, right? I built like a home gym. Like my dad bought me like the dumbbells and the barbells and the benches, all of that, right? I tried literally everything. I tried high volume, I tried low volume, I tried calisthenics, I tried CrossFit even. Like I tried everything, I'm telling you. And basically, I wasn't realizing it, but I was just testing different hypotheses, right? I was guessing, like, okay, all the workout slurs, bro, like push-pull legs, upper lower, bro's full body arm day, like everything, right? And I found out, like, this is just for me personally, but when I trained with high volume, you know, training like 6 days a week, doing high volume, right? So basically, volume just means like the sets and reps, right? Just how much work you do in a workout, right? So I was training for like 2-3 hours. That just destroyed my body, and I could not build that much muscle training that way, and I just completely burned out. Like, there was literally a year, 2024, right? I did not train. I wasn't able to train because I was just so overtrained. And every single time I would go back to training, I would overtrain even more, right? So that didn't work for me at all. So it was negative. But when I tried sort of like low volume, high intensity, like Dorian Yates style, Mike Mensa, it worked for me way better. It worked way better. But when I tried like the middle ground, right, like training, and this is what I talk about in my videos all the time, right, was just training 3 to 4 days a week. 3 days a week was optimal for me. Doing 1 set max, but all the way to failure, like very high intensity, progressively overloading, like increasing the reps and the weight every single time I work out. Push, you know, chest, shoulders, triceps, back, biceps, legs, right? Push pull legs. You know, eating in a calorie surplus, getting enough sleep, of course, like sleeping like 7 to 10 hours. And I found out that is what built the most muscle for me. Now, I don't know if I look like jacked or not here, but yeah, like this is from like the first principles that I talk about that I actually found that give results, which are train to failure, progressively overload, and recover. Recover just means like nutrition and sleep and eating protein and being in calorie surplus, right? But those are really all it comes down to. Now, when it comes to my bad habits, this is what I discovered from my scientific experiments, right? Like, this is really all it comes down to. Honestly, like, if you want to win at anything, bro, if you want to quit all your addictions and you want to live a happy, fulfilling life of constant improvement, like, this is literally all it comes down to. Just be a scientist. Just use the scientific method over and over and over again, because really, like, I've been studying biology for some time now, and this is what I learned. Like, all of the organisms in any species you look at, right, whether it's birds, it's mammals, reptiles, any species, right, the organisms that are on the top of the social hierarchy are always the organisms that iterate the most. Iteration, that's all it comes down to. If you look at it from a biological perspective, right? And this is just natural selection. Like, this is just survival of the fittest. It's survival of the most adaptable to the environment. What the scientific method does is it makes us adapt and adapt and adapt and adapt. And this is how we became the dominant species on this planet. This is how we became like the top dogs, right? It's because we kept iterating and iterating and iterating. Like, what takes an ant millions and millions of years to adapt to takes us less than that. It takes us hundreds of thousands of years, even less, because we have these complex brains that make us adapt, that make us iterate. And this is how we became the dominant species, right? And this is why asymmetries and the 80-20 rule, you know, Pareto's law, exists. This is why the top 20% of men get literally all the women, because they iterate the most, they improve the most, they have the best looks, they are the most intelligent, right? They have the most money, they have the most status, they are the most confident, they are the most masculine, they are at the top of the social hierarchy, they are the alphas, right? So if you're wondering, bro, if you're a young man and you're wondering, oh man, how do I get girls? Just improve yourself. Just become the best version of yourself, man. Meditate, journal, work out, you know, work on your mental health, work on your past traumas, just improve every single area of your life. And I know you're probably like, oh, but it's gonna be so hard, man, because, you know, your old identity just wants to survive as much as it can. But it's hard for a very short period of time. Like right now, the period you're in, this is the hardest part. It won't get harder. Like, this is the hardest part. If you can just make it through this, then you're on the journey to become the best version of yourself. But if you don't improve yourself, you will stay in the hard period for the rest of your life. And you will hate your life for the rest of your life. Alright? Now, I know I went on a little bit of rant there, but just another example. Like, if you look at like the top companies today, right? Like the top multi-trillion-dollar companies, like Apple, for example. Like, if you look at the iPhone 1 and the iPhone 2 and the iPhone 3 and the iPhone 4, all the way to what do we have now, like iPhone 16, right? Like, it's just constant iteration, it's just constant improvement. Like the iPhone 16, if you compare it, the iPhone 1, it just looks nothing like it. They look nothing similar, bro. And this is why these companies became like trillion-dollar companies. It's because they constantly improve, they constantly iterate, they constantly adapt to the environment. They are the fittest in the biological sense, right? So yeah, I know I went a little bit of rant there, but how did I overcome my addictions? What are the results? With porn and masturbation, it all comes down to two things. I just did good habits, like meditating, journaling, and I was addicted to porn and masturbation for 7 years, right? But I just did good habits, meditating, journaling, you know, just focusing on these good habits, these habits that regulate my emotions, right? Working out, reading books, you know, all these good habits, right? And also the emotional regulation habits. So when I got like an urge, I just breathe, like take slow, deep breaths and just calm and relax my entire body, right? And I name like emotions. So if I'm feeling stressed, you know what, I'm feeling stressed, bro. And, you know, healing trauma, doing all those things, good habits. And the second thing was reading the book The Easy Peasy Method to Quit Porn. Because really, there are just two causes for porn and masturbation. It's just emotional regulation and brainwashing. And what this book did, The Easy Peasy Way to Quit Porn, it destroys all of the brainwashing that all of us have as young men from these billion-dollar companies that just keep pushing it in your face. Like, we are living in such a hyper-sexualized society, but porn is just pixels on a screen. Like, it's not real, it's fake. They're like, oh man, I know that, but I'm still addicted. But I promise you, this is it. Like, they keep brainwashing us. These billion-dollar companies that, oh, porn is pleasurable, porn is good for you, but porn gives you absolutely nothing. Like, when you are giving up nothing when you quit porn, right? You don't need it. You don't need it at all. You don't need it to survive or reproduce. You don't need porn. It's like wearing a very tight shoe just to take it off, right? Like, read the book, bro. I promise you, it will change your life. The Easy Peasy Way to Quit Porn. What about video games? Video games, I realized it's just, well, two things really. Yeah, it's focusing on good habits like porn, you know, meditation, journaling, working out, reading, etc. And really becoming the best version of myself, because really, like, video games is just a coping mechanism for hating your life. It's just a coping mechanism because you don't like yourself. Maybe you're not becoming the best version of yourself. Maybe you're just using it as a coping mechanism, as an escape from hell that is life. And whether you realize it consciously or subconsciously, this is the truth. And that's how I overcame my video game addiction. I was addicted to video games for years. But really, that's it. And video games, not only did I stop being addicted to them, but like sometimes my brother comes to me and tells me like, oh, bro, do you want to play like Tekken or whatever? It's like a fighting game, you know? And I'm just like, bro, this is so boring. Like, it's just so boring. Like, we are in such a digital age, right? And I get it, like, the technological revolution is fascinating and it's amazing, right? And it built all of these great companies like Amazon and Apple and Facebook, right? But really, like, we don't focus, like, and we don't consciously realize that, bro, these are just pixels on a screen. They're not real, man. They're not real. It's just fake. Like we need to live real life. Like, I know, like, so many people on Reddit or whatever, like, they keep saying, oh, touch grass, bro. It's true. Like, we need to live real life. Like, we need human connection. We need to build ourselves. We need to improve ourselves, right? So yeah, I promise you, if you genuinely love your life and you are genuinely happy with your life, you will throw your PlayStation away. Like, you will stop being addicted to video games, I'm telling you. And not only that, like, if you are genuinely fulfilled with your life, you will find video games like very boring and even repulsive, right? So yeah, that's video games. And also, you know, like I said, moving my PlayStation 4, right? Because at that time it was like very popular, right? I just moved it to my brother's room. And then we sold it for like $100, like, because I just don't care about it anymore. I just don't care about it. I don't care about the PlayStation anymore. I don't care about video games anymore. I don't have any video games on my phone or on my laptop or on my, I don't even have a PlayStation or on my TV. I don't have any of that. Because my life is the ultimate video game. It's the ultimate movies. I don't even watch movies. I don't even watch TV shows. Because they're just so boring for me nowadays. Like, my life is the ultimate, and this is what happens when you get into self-improvement, bro. Like, your life becomes the ultimate video game. Your life becomes the ultimate mission, the ultimate goal to just achieve every single thing you want. You know, you become desired by girls. You marry the woman of your dreams. You marry the woman that becomes the mother of your children. You marry the mother of your children, right? You become the best father for your children. You become an intellectual, a scientist, a philosopher by reading all these books. You become like an athlete, like a jacked athlete by building an aesthetic physique, you know? You know, having like so many friends that genuinely love you and genuinely care for you and genuinely root for you, right? Like, I'm telling you, when you get in self-improvement, you'll just sit in class and you'll just have like girls come up to you like, and holding eye contact with you and flirting with you, and like people will just love you. And you know, you work on your traumas. Like I'm telling you, like self-improvement changed my life so much that all I care about, like all my purpose is to just get as many young men as I can onto self-improvement. Because really it's the solution to all our problems, is to just become the best versions of ourselves. And when we do that, all of your problems, your dating problems with girls and with women, are solved. Because you literally become like the man they want. You literally become like the romantic hero they read about in romance novels, which is like porn for women. You become jacked, you become aesthetic, you know, you become an athlete. You become a philosopher, a scientist, an intellectual by reading books. You improve your mental health. You overcome your past traumas, all of the people that hurt you, by meditation and journaling. It's a beautiful experience, man. It's such a beautiful life when you get onto self-improvement, bro. So I really want you to get onto self-improvement, man. And I don't want to sell you a course. I don't want to sell you some coaching service or whatever. I just want you to become the best version of yourself, bro. That's my dream. That's like my self-transcending purpose, is to just get as many young men onto self-improvement. And bro, I don't care if it takes me 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. I'll keep making these videos. I'll keep giving you valuable content that actually solves your problems, that actually makes you the best version of yourself. I really want you to join me on this path, bro. Because I'm telling you, it will be the best decision of my life. It certainly was the best decision of my life, was to get onto self-improvement. And I know it's hard, and I know you don't want to do it. And I know you have all these excuses in your head. You have all these doubts in your mind. Oh, is this even gonna work for me? And what are my friends gonna think? Just go to that center of your brain and just shut it off. And just improve yourself. And it all starts with fitness, with going to the gym, with curling dumbbells in your room. That's how it started for me, all right? So I'm telling you, bro, self-improvement will solve all your problems. And the scientific method, like I said, this is how you quit any addiction, is through the scientific method. Formulate a hypothesis, test hypothesis, observe results, and formulate new hypothesis. And if you keep doing that, it's guaranteed, it's inevitable that you will overcome the addiction. Alright, or the bad habit. And as always, bro, we're in this together, we will make it.